What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another video. My name is the Blackouts Kid, and I'll be telling you everything you need to know about Oddworld Soulstorm. Now, we're going to be covering lots of great information, an over-depth video on everything we need to know about Oddworld Soulstorm. We'll be covering release date, lots of gameplay information, story, brand new information you probably did not know about Oddworld Soulstorm. First thing I want to do is, if you guys enjoy Oddworld Soulstorm content, make sure you subscribe. That really helps the channel, and like the video if you learned something new. Oddworld Soulstorm is a reimagining of the 1998 classic Oddworld Abe's Exodus. Their reimagining will shape for a darker, more sinister story with very gritty cutscenes of Mudokons being forced to work to death, experimented on, things that reminds everyone of World War II labor camps. This is the first glimpse of Oddworld Soulstorm we got in a very long time, with lots of snidbits in between. There is lots of speculation to appearances of cut characters from series past. Sam, Abe's mother, could be making an appearance, as Lori Landing, series creator, said Soulstorm would dive deep into Abe's past and answer many unanswered questions. They have confirmed Mulek, the boss from Rupture Farms, is making a return and looks as he has some facial deformation. Vikers will also be making an appearance in Soulstorm, which were only available in Munch's Odyssey originally. Humphrey, the Viker from Munch's Odyssey, is also making an appearance in the mural painted on the doors of Comet Depot. New enemies like flying sligs and more unique things that make Soulstorm more vertically different. 2.9D like gameplay, where you can see Mudokon slaves working in the amazingly diverse background. Abe looks a lot lighter than previous games, going with a light green vibe, wielding a backpack and a life meter. Abe diversely is different than any Oddworld game prior, being able to craft items to kill and knock out enemies. In Exodus and Abe's Odyssey, you really only had one way to solve a puzzle. Now you have multiple ways to really change the way that Abe plays. New gameplay implementation and new information. I could spend a long time on this. The way that Abe greets Mudokons is more of a AoE pulse that alerts everyone on the screen and will follow him. Mudokons can also be toggled to be passive, so they don't knock out or attack enemies, or aggro, which is kill or knock out sligs, depending on what item you equip them with. It's uncertain if you can control other Mudokons to attack enemies or not, but they will stack up when following you. It is artistically looking different as well. Abe can scavenge items in lockers, trash cans, and on the ground. The items you can collect will be either used for scrapping at certain vending machines to earn moolah, or to create a multitude of weapons or items. You can make items that will knock down enemies, make a flamethrower that will kill sligs, or just possess enemies to knock them out or kill them. Killing enemies makes you lose Quarma, which is indicated on the screen and made apparent when Abe kills these creatures. It will be like black floating souls into his body. In this game, you have to knock out enemies and rescue all Mudokons to get a better ending, unlike previous titles where all you had to do was rescue your Mudokon friends. Also, in the previous games, you could kill to your heart's content, as long as it was enemies and not your friends. When you rescue your fellow Mudokons, you will get good Quarma, and also get some power for your chanting. Chanting is a follow to your target instead of closest towards you. You will have a time limit to possess your target, maximum of 15 seconds, and possession timer of 60 seconds. So you can control the slig to kill other sligs for a total of 60 seconds. Also, you can angle which way the sligs will shoot. Not if you're trying to get a good ending, you won't really experience this, but you have the option to do that. You can also possess the enemies and put them to sleep, making the game a little easier to do passively. You can also possess more enemies after the other enemy has been killed, but how this exactly works is still up to interpretation. World card sections are interesting. If you don't have to do the map stealthily, then you're going to be gunning down lots of sligs. In these types of scenarios, you can lock onto enemies, shoot them with like a Gatling gun, and also you can see a lot of explosions from sligs and Mudokons throwing things at them, so these sections seem to be a little bit hectic. All the way at the top of the screen is a security meter. Think of it like a alert meter for Metal Gear Solid. When on alert, enemies will come to kill you and your followers, hide in lockers, etc. You will go into alert status, but in search of you. When you kill / knock out enemies, you can loot them as well. could be keys to access different areas or useful items to aid you in your journey. So there's a lot of great gameplay mechanics, a lot of crafting items. I'm not going to go into a lot of details with those because that is really just a whole video on its own. I will link that in the very end of the description or down in the description below or at the end of credits, whatever you want to do. I'd prefer you guys to watch the rest because there's lots of great information we're going to be covering here very soon. That would just take way too much time to discover all this, so without further ado, let's get right into the most important part, what everyone's going to be looking for, is multi-console release, release date, and the closing segments of this video. Usually, Oddworld and Sony have a partnership with Oddworld promising Sony 1 year of exclusivity with PS4 with new and tasty. But in the gameplay we've seen Xbox inputs and PS4 controller inputs on menus and etc. This could mean PC, Xbox One, and PS4 right at release. It's really to be announced, but in an IGN interview, Loring Lanning talks about how open with Nintendo and Microsoft have been so supportive to how Oddworld Soulstorm is being created with funding and how successful it's been in not being under an exclusive branch and just redistributing games how they want. Especially with Steam have been a huge help with making Oddworld Soulstorm. He doesn't come right out and say it, but it does pretty much confirm PS4 and PC with inputs on the screen that we saw. So there is some speculation, there is some quote-unquote really under interpretation. There's not a lot of details on this, but it would make sense. Oddworld is kind of in the state where they kind of need money, and they're making the greatest game possible as well. So in terms of pricing too, with the recent interview as well, Loring Lanning did state that they didn't want to charge full retail price for the game. So does that mean they're going to be charging us $20? No. What I think they're going to be doing is charging us at like anywhere from $40 to $50, kind of like what we saw towards the end of the Xbox 360 era, kind of like with Dead Island Riptide, where the game was only like $50. It wasn't huge on the budget, but it gave the money more, or gave the company more money to make more things. And I feel like that's what kind of Oddworld Soulstorm is going to be taking in kind of that retrospect. So, going to be $40 to $50 at release, possibly, but still expect a $60 price tag until we know a little bit further. The release date has been something that has been killing fans for months. It was supposed to come out in 2018, then was pushed back to 2019. When with recently, the gameplay trailer has been pushed back to early 2020. There has been rumors around, and I've been talking with the Oddworld inhabitants people over on their Discord and emails and all that kind of stuff. There's also been some rumors at some GameStops being floating around that the release date is going to be March 24th of 2020 or April 7th of 2020. March makes the most sense as not as many games are getting released around this time. April has Cyberpunk 2077, which that game is huge news attention at launch, so that would take a lot of attention away from Oddworld Soulstorm, so it would be very not beneficial to Oddworld and the team, especially to release the game around that time. So I wouldn't recommend that, although it's pretty confirmed that it's probably going to be March 24th. It's early 2020, so that would be quarter 1 or quarter 2. So it's right in the middle of that spectrum, and they haven't really announced a release date, and I expect them to do that very soon here. But until further notice, these last like 2 or 3 minutes is all speculated. I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing all consoles, as they've been doing Stranger's Wrath and all these other types of games coming to the Switch and multi-console. So I assume that they will continue to do great things. We always love Oddworld inhabitants, and I will recommend all the videos that I have in this playlist in the back here. I will have the one down in the description, the one at the end credits. Please subscribe. It helps the channel out so much. I really am a big fan of Oddworld, and will continue to be covering Oddworld Soulstorm as much as I possibly can. Any leaks, rumors, any of that kind of stuff. Subscribe for more of that content. I really enjoy all you guys watching, the great support over these last couple months. It really means a lot to me. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.